Welcome to mathematics session. We are looking at lesson number 2, integers in mathematics. I want to look at subtraction and addition. I want to emphasize certain points which are giving people problems. We are going to look at the negatives, the tips. If you are subtracting and the numbers have negatives throughout, simply add the numbers and put negative sign to the result, to the answer. Example, if you look at this is negative 3 minus, I'm subtracting a negative, minus 2, and I'm subtracting equally negative 2 minus 1. We don't have any plus here, we don't have multiplication, we don't have division. It's throughout subtraction. So this one and this one, okay, they are representing subtraction. We are subtracting 3 numbers in a row. So now, what are you supposed to do? You simply add this one plus this one plus this one, okay? To be on the safe side, you can put brackets here and there. Then you say 3 plus 2 plus 1. What you are doing here, you are first adding. Here you can put minus because this does not mean the negative was gone, the subtraction there. So when you add this plus this, that is 5, plus this, that is 6. So it will be 6, then negative times positive inside 6 is negative 6. This is the answer. Sorry. So alternatively, you can write like this, negative 3 minus 2 minus 1. You can add somewhere else. You say 3 plus 2 plus 1. It will give you 6. You just come here, use this, and then you put the signs of the numbers. Okay? If you are subtracting and the numbers have negatives throughout, add the numbers I've added here. Okay? I've added, this is 3 plus 2 plus 1, which is 6. Then the result, the answer, I've put negative. So this is basically one and the same thing. Equally here, we have negative 1 and negative 81. We are subtracting negative 1 and negative 81. So you just simply add these two numbers. So you add these two numbers. This is what? 1 plus 81. It will give you 82. So here is 82. Then the numbers, they have got a negative. You put negative 82. Here we have negative 3 minus 3. There can be two numbers, 3, 5, 4, 6, as long as throughout you have negatives. This is what you do. So this one, 3, and this one, we are subtracting. It's the same as 3 plus 1, okay, which will give me 4. So here it will give me 4. Now the question is, what sign do these numbers have? Negative throughout. So I'll put negative. If you are subtracting and the numbers have negative throughout, add the numbers and put the negative to the results. When you see tips, I'm explaining about tips. These are things that you're supposed to study. These are the tips that you're supposed to remember. So if you are unable to remember tips, then it will be difficult for you to understand mathematics. So wherever you are finding tips, study those. Know what they mean, okay, and what you are supposed to do. We come to this. Negative 20, negative 1, negative 4. So throughout we have negatives. So meaning I'll just say 20 plus 1, okay, plus 4. I'll just add the numbers. You just add the numbers, okay? Then the sign is the sign for the numbers. So this plus this is 21 plus this 25. So 25 and the negative there. 25 times negative is negative. So you add this and this and this, just plain adding, and then you put the sign which you are seeing on the numbers, negative. This is how you do it. I'm emphasizing on this because In matrices, this is what is common. In vectors, this is what is common. Coordinate geometry, finding gradients and equation of the lines, they like negative numbers. Okay, indices, they incorporate negative. So you can't survive in mathematics minus knowing this. That's why we are emphasizing. It can look very simple, very basic, but this is the key to passing mathematics. This is what confuses people. We go to this one. This one is negative 7a minus 2a. These are it's algebra. So you can't subtract a minus a to give you a squared, or you can't add a plus a to give you a squared. Where you get a squared, unless you are multiplying a times a is equal to a squared like this. But when you are adding a plus a, the answer is 2a. It's the same as 1 plus 1. Okay, so see the difference. Where you have a power, it's just only multiplication only. Where you are adding or subtracting, just treat them more like you are dealing with numbers. So in this case, this is the same as you put brackets, the same as negative 7 minus 2, then outside you put a. This is a variable. So this you are subtracting numbers. So just add this 7 plus 2, that is 9. Okay, 9, what's the sign? Negative. So negative 9 times a, that is negative 9a. So this is your answer. So basically focus on subtraction of numbers, because and the brackets, these are very, very cardinal. I'm emphasizing for us to move together from the word go until we succeed. It's important that you understand this. We go to the next tip, number 2. Subtracting and adding numbers of different signs. Okay, bigger number minus smaller number. In bigger number and smaller number, what I mean is that in integers, negative 21 and negative 2. Negative 2 is bigger, negative 21 is smaller. But you ignore the signs, this becomes the larger number. So just think which one is a bigger number without signs. This is the one that you get, minus the smaller number. Then the sign of the answer will be, you consider the answer, the sign of the bigger number. So let us look at example. So 1 minus negative 64. So this means that negative 64 and positive 1. So positive 1 is bigger than negative 62. But if we ignore the signs, 64 is bigger. So which one is it? When you look at this without signs, which one is bigger? 64. So what are they saying? Subtract bigger number. So it will be 64 minus the 1 which is here. It will give you 63. So you can say 63 here. I've worked out there 63. So now you ask yourself a question. The bigger number, which sign has the bigger number? The bigger number 64, it has negative. You put negative there. As simple as that. We come to this. This plus this, adding numbers of different signs, just subtract. So this is the same as 10 minus 2, okay, which will give you 8. So you put 8 here. You ask yourself a question. Which one is bigger number here? 10. What's the sign of on 10? It's positive. So this will be positive. As simple as that. Okay. Negative 15. Okay. Plus 15. Okay. What is it? So when you see that two different signs and the numbers are same, the answer will be 0. Okay. So how? You subtract 15 minus 15, it will give you 0. So here the answer is 0. No positive, don't put positive 0, negative 0. There is nothing like that. And what the tip you are supposed to remember is that when you just see numbers are same but different signs, the answer will be 0. They are opposites. So let's hope you have understood on this point. So pause the video on each tip, you see what is happening, and repeat the same questions you solve on your own. and get related questions. Pause the video on the second tip and also understand what is happening. We go to the opening brackets. Opening brackets here, what it is that we use multiplication. So we go back, negative times negative is equal to positive. So the brackets here, they mean multiplication there. You multiply negative times negative, positive. So wherever you see this pattern and minus and the number inside the bracket is negative, it will change to minus. It will change to plus, because you are multiplying negative times negative, positive. Where you see different signs, it will change to minus. Negative times positive, negative. Positive times negative, negative. So this is just opposite. This time the positive inside, this time the positive is outside, negative inside. These are just the same. Different signs will result in negative. So example, negative 3 minus positive 2. So your focus is on this sign and this one. That should be your focus. So from the tips, negative negative outside and positive outside, it will result in what? In a negative. So the brackets will go, what will remain is the negative. So it will be negative 3, negative times positive, negative 2. So this is the step. So now this brings us back to the first tip, where we say subtracting numbers having negatives throughout. Negative, negative. Just add the numbers. It's 3 plus 2. That is 5. Then the sign is negative. This is the answer. This and this, what pattern is there? You see, this and this negative times negative positive. So it will be negative 3. So don't change this one on the left. This one is independent. The issue, the trick is here. You multiply this and this, it will change to positive. So it's no longer minus, it will be plus. So plus what? 2. Now it takes back to the tip number 2, adding numbers of different signs. Just subtract bigger number minus smaller number. Okay, bigger number minus smaller number. This will be what? 3 minus 2. The answer is 1. So you put 1 here and you ask yourself a question. The bigger number has which sign? Negative. So you put negative there. This is the answer. This one and this one, negative. Don't temper here. This negative, positive times negative, it will be negative. It will result in negative. Okay, so minus 2. So here we have what? Negative. Okay, negative minus negative, negative 3 minus 2. So subtracting numbers having negative throughout, just add this plus this is 5. So negative. So this is basically what it is. So please follow the steps very religiously, so that when we come to advanced topics, it will be easier for you to understand and solve mathematics. This is very, very key. We are not going to move, okay, forward if I see that you have not started getting everything right on integers. Thank you for your attention.